Good evening, everyone. William in here, 1799. Glad you could come around. Like this video, hit that subscribe button down there, share it, pass it along. Remember your First Amendment rights and leave a comment. We'd sure like to hear. I'm going to dive into something that I've done a couple videos on, but kind of like skimmed over. I really didn't hit it hard. It's all about public safety. Public safety is a very funny sort of thing that kind of like stretches a little bit, more storytelling than actual truth. Public safety is basically something that Democrats and anti-gun people use because they get a lot of money they pass on these Democrats, so they can use their own offices for personal and political gain. Mainly Democrats, because they all push for it. But here's the thing to this. When they start playing with this public safety deal, it's all not about public safety as it's supposed to be used. It's basically just you carrying a firearm legally and wanting to defend yourself legally, or take it in areas where these no gun free zones are and things like that. Unfortunately though, when you talk about this public safety thing, they don't quite tell you the whole story about public safety. So when you dive into this thing common sense wise, it's a joke. It's a joke with stories done by Democrats, anti-gun groups, and other organizations to try to push for disarmament of the American people. A lot of these states who are controlled by Democrats believe that the Second Amendment right is not what it is. On other terms, also, your Bill of Rights does not exist, and we decide what your rights are. So we pick and choose. A lot of them want to push for this so-called ban on assault weapons. Other organizations want to sit there and ban all semi-automatic firearms. And what is it all based on? Oh, public safety. Yeah. And yet, don't forget, they also want to ban certain types of ammunition. They want to regulate ammunition or high tax ammunition, all based on public safety. But when we sit there and we push this thing into this public safety deal, we look down below this horizon of public safety, we find that a lot of these Democrat politicians, there are a few rhinos involved too, who have personal vendetta against people who are carrying a firearm. Period. They don't believe you should carry a firearm. They don't believe you need the right to defend yourselves. That's just some mythological nonsense that somebody made up. That somebody's going to run into a store or a mall or a restaurant or a school or a playground or a place of worship or your job and just start killing people. That's a myth. But you carrying that firearm, claimed you need it to defend yourself, is a threat to public safety. Well, again, a lot of these politicians are all based on personal. There's a constitution out there with a thing called the Bill of Rights. They don't believe in that. They don't believe in that at all. It's all based on hearsay. Rights does not come from God or come from the Constitution or those who gave their lives for it, including those people giving their lives today. Now, your rights come from government. Government decides what your rights are, state or federal, according to the rule of the Democratic Party. High-ranking members. When you look at open borders, you look at the people coming in this country that have not been vetted. Should they be considered to be a threat to public safety? No. Just you carrying that firearm. Possible terrorists are in your country. Murderers, rapists, drug dealers, human traffickers, child molesters, and so forth. Not a threat to public safety, but you are, because you carry a firearm. So when you balance all this out and you say to yourself, well, if me carrying a firearm is a threat to public safety, what do we do? Well, you need to ban all semi-automatic firearms. That's a start. We need to ban all types of ammunition. It's another start. That will reduce the threat of public safety temporarily. Because there are revolvers, and shotguns, and lever-action rifles. So we say we need to ban them too eventually, because that also continues a threat to public safety. Not the murderers, not the rapists, not the carjackers, not the people who are going to blow up something, or people who are getting a vehicle and use as a weapon to run you over, or a crowd of people. You are a threat because you carry a firearm. You're a threat to public safety. Not the people who sit there, put their manifesto up on a computer screen and tell them who they're going to kill or shoot or murder. Then you got the red flag laws, and they're supposed to use those red flag laws to go after this sort of thing. No, that's not a threat. That's definitely not a threat. And it's a shame too. All they care about is personal. That's all it is. So you sum this whole thing up, public safety is a joke. Because they don't think about that all these anti-gun zones are a potential target to any terrorist or anybody who wants to commit a crime, a heinous crime. Well, that's where we need to ban all these firearms. See, that's all based on public safety. Yeah. Okay. So you see a restaurant there, it's got a sign on it that says we don't allow firearms in our establishment. Okay, so your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, take your firearms off, you lock them in your box inside the safe in your vehicle, lock the vehicle up, go in and then enjoy your lunch. It's a crowded area. Or it could be outing of some sort. And some deranged being who doesn't care about gun laws, doesn't care about the magazine capacity, doesn't care about that firearm is banned in certain states, does not have to fill background checks, didn't have to go after FBI's background checks, didn't wait for a waiting period, just went in to start shooting at the police. Yeah. Then you got these things on these college campuses that are constantly running around with, threatening innocent students because, you got a Palestinian sort of thing, a Jewish sort of thing, and they want to get rid of this one gentleman who's a threat. Isn't that a threat to public safety? No. Just you carrying that firearm. All because you are a threat, because you are a threat to public safety in general. Now, unless you disarm yourself, come into their world and say, I believe in no firearms for innocent people to defend themselves. You walk into that realm, these anti-gun people, and you say that, you give up everything, then you will be accepted as a non-threat to public safety. Now, I don't know about you, but where in the hell does common sense come involved in all this? Well, you got to pick up the phone and call law enforcement. So you're going to pick up your phone, you're going to hit that little button there and call law enforcement. Yeah, right. Hit that person or that. What's going to allow you to do that? Like I said, public safety is a joke. It's a political, nothing more than a political move. Just one, they pump a lot of money in this damn thing. And money somehow circled back into the Democratic Party somehow, which was already checked into that. And then when you sit there and you try to figure out what we're doing here, their attitude is, you believe what we tell you. Everything is based on public safety. There is no such thing as a terrorist threat out there. There is no such thing as some bad guy with a gun going to come and kill everybody. That's all made up. But when it comes right down to public safety, it's a joke. And when a bad actor does commit some type of heinous crime, guess what? It's everybody else's fault. A person gets behind the wheel of a vehicle, runs through a crowded outing of some sort, runs for down 14, 15 people, and kills 6 or 7 and injures severely others. Should that be considered a public safety threat? No. All public safety is designed for is to remove the people's right to defend themselves. To create a slave society that only works for one thing only. They don't care about your life. They don't care about anything happens. You get robbed, murdered, raped, you disappear off the face of this planet. We need more gun control. It's for public safety. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. Listen to the Democrats. All this is nothing more than personal. And it stems back all back to 1860s. Stems that far back. And they've carried that with them to the present day. That's what the party carries. And you can't make it up. So when you sit there and you ask yourself the question, what do we do? If you carry a firearm, get the proper training. Do not be afraid to defend yourself. And remember about public safety. Remember where the hell it comes from. And remember what the real reasons is. Disarmament and slavery. That's all it is. Till then, you take care and think about what these politicians know about public safety. You take care.